We already know the New England Patriots, favored by 5.5. They're going to Denver to take on Jared Stidham and the Broncos, or Sam Darnold, who started out with the Jets, then went to Carolina, then San Francisco, then Minnesota, then Seattle. He's trying to get the Seahawks to Levi Stadium in the rival home, the home of the Niners, to play for the Lombardi Trophy. Now, I do think a lot of people are saying, oh my God, Bo Nix went out, Jared Stidham's in, it's an omen, that's it for the Broncos season. I disagree with that notion a little bit. I think this notion that New England is going to run through Denver is false. I do think that the Patriots are going to be off to a little bit of a slow start, which is why, in my best bets, I'm going to bet that Drake May has under 52.5 passing yards in the first quarter. I think Drake May is a slow starting quarterback. If I had a first quarter money line bet, I would actually bet either a tie or Denver. I do think the Patriots have lucked out a little bit because they have faced the Chargers and the Texans, two teams with bad offensive lines they cannot protect against that cover zero. Where on the Denver side of things, you have Garrett Bowles at left tackle, you have a very good offensive line, you have a very good scheme designer in Sean Payton, who I think Sean Payton is going to use as his motivation. Denver is going to use it as bulletin board material. Hey, listen, we don't have our starting running back, J.K. Dobbins. We don't have our starting quarterback, Bo Nix. Marvin Mims, McLaughlin, Cortland Sutton, Evan Ingram, obviously. You guys are going to have to step up. But this has happened before. 2017, Nick Foles. Nobody believed the Philadelphia Eagles would Nick Foles after they lost. Then, MVP favorite Carson Wentz to a knee injury that they would go on to win the Super Bowl. However, they took down the Falcons at home. They took down the Vikings at home. They took down Brady and Belichick in the Super Bowl. And they did it. And Sean Payton's going to say, as great as Bo Nix is, Bo Nix is not the sole reason why we are here. Bo Nix is not the sole reason why we are the number one seed. We're going to rely on our defense. And I said, if CJ Stroud, in my opinion, just could have held on to the football in that divisional round game, there's a chance Houston gets the upset against New England because Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson, they were taking apart Morgan Moses and the rookie Will Campbell out of LSU on that Patriots offensive line. I thought Houston, Trey Aikman said it on the broadcast, had done everything defensively to stay in that game. It's just New England again against the Chargers and Houston both. Neither of those teams could block the Patriots cover zero looks, which I do believe Denver will be able to do. I think Jared Stidham is going to play well. I think the key to this game is obviously going to be the turnovers. If the Patriots can force Jared Stidham into third and long, if they can stop the run, if they can force Jared Stidham to make mistakes, they're going to win. This is a place where in Patriots history, they have not won a playoff game in Denver. The last time the Broncos made the AFC Championship game, Super Bowl 50. Brady, Manning in Denver. We know the outcome of that game. Listen, the quarterback advantage here is for Drake May, who heats up obviously as the game goes on. I think this will be a big Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson game. I think they're both going to need to run the football. They're both going to need to keep the Broncos defense off balance. But this notion to me that New England's going to walk in and destroy Denver, I think personally is false. Do I think the Patriots are going to win the game? Yes, I do. Do I think they're going to cover the 5.5? Yes, I do. Do I think it's going to be a murderer's row? No, I don't. I think Denver hangs in. I think the second half, though, Mike Vrabel and the Patriots make the adjustments. They pull away maybe a little bit late in the fourth quarter. And at the end of the day, this turnaround that I did not expect from the New England Patriots this quickly winds up as the AFC representative in the Super Bowl. Going into the year, I did pick an AFC East representative to represent that conference in the big game down at Levi Stadium. I just did not think it would be the Patriots. Now, Seattle, they may be the best team left. Defensively, Mike McDonald is in winter tree, as I talked about on Tuesday. Outside of Leonard Williams and Demarcus Lawrence up front. Yes, Devin Witherspoon uh, and Tariq Woolen are good corners. They're not really household names, though. Mike McDonald has done what he did in Baltimore when he was there 2 years ago as their defensive coordinator and completely turned around this Seattle defense. John Schneider took the old Pete Carroll era and basically modernized it, which is very similar to what New England has done with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, modernizing it into Mike Vrabel and Drake May. And they move up Geno Smith. They grab Sam Darnold. Now, Jackson Smith and Jigba has turned into a number one wide receiver, even though he did not have a big game against San Francisco. Raheem Shaheed has been a huge um contributor. So I look at that and I say that Seattle has a really good roster, obviously. But you look at the Rams, and in my opinion, they should have beat Seattle in that Thursday night game. That was a crazy game. We know the 2-point conversion that happened. I just trust Matthew Stafford at this point more than Sam Darnold. I think it's going to be a close game. I think both teams are going to make plays, but I was really impressed by the Rams and the fact that they went to Chicago in that freezing cold. They had no penalties, they had no drops, and they are a warm weather dome team. And I think that just speaks so much to Sean McVay coaching. And again, I think both teams are going to be able to move the football. I think Colin Kubiak has been the most underrated hire of the entire offseason. What he's been able to do to transform that Seattle offense, I think he is the main reason why Sam Darnold has played at the level he has played this year. But I just think the story of this NFL season, it has been a two-man race for MVP about midway through the year between Drake May and the New England Patriots, Matthew Stafford, and the Los Angeles Rams. And now we are, in my opinion, going to see both of them battle it out for the right to host the Lombardi Trophy in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara on February 8th on NBC. I'm taking the Rams plus 2.5, though I do think former Ram Cooper Kupp is going to have 2+ catches. And I'm going to take the over in this game. The over under is at 47.5. I do think there are a lot of points scored in this game. I don't think it's a defensive slugfest. I think both teams move the football. I think it's very similar to the two games that these two teams play. Again, if it comes down to a drive, I like Stafford more so over Sam Darnold. I'll take the experienced Rams who had Seattle beat by 16 in the fourth quarter of that game on Thursday night in week 16, about 5 weeks ago, and a punt return by Raheem Shaheed, as well as a just bonkers 2-point conversion plays, what got Seattle back in the ball game. I don't think the bounces go the Seahawks way. I do think we're going to get a rematch of what would be Super Bowl 36, Super Bowl 53. How about Super Bowl 60? Both those times the Patriots won the game. This time I would lean more towards the Rams winning the game. So, my five best bets for NFL Conference Championship weekend are I'm going to take the Patriots minus 5.5. Again, I do not think this is a total blowout. I think Denver's going to stay in the game, maybe till late fourth quarter, but I think New England pulls away late to get to their first trips in Super Bowl 53, where they will take on the Rams, who I think have Seattle's number. I think that was a great comeback by Seattle in Week 16, but I'm not sure they could do it again. I'll take the Rams plus 2.5. Because I usually do five best bets and there's only two games to bet, I'm going to give you guys some props as well. I think Cooper Kupp, the former Ram, has 2+ catches. I like the over in that Rams Seahawks game as well at 47.5. And in the Patriots Broncos game, again, I think New England's offense starts slow. I think Sean Payne schemed some things up for Jared Stidham. I think they control the clock early. Drake May is notoriously a slow starter. I'm going to bet that Drake May under 52.5 passing yards in the first quarter. Like that clip from the Brands World podcast? If so, make sure you go down there and hit that subscribe button.
While you're down there hitting the subscribe button, make sure to also hit the notification bell so you never miss another upload. And make sure you check out all the other clips from the Brains World podcast right here on YouTube.